Good afternoon, everyone. Have you ever wanted to change a law or stop one from going into effect? In Arizona, you can, not just by voting for elected officials, but by voting directly on statutes themselves. Today, I will talk to you about two powerful tools that give the people of Arizona a direct voice in our democracy: the initiative and the referendum. These processes are not just political terms, they are the foundation of direct democracy in our state and a unique part of what makes Arizona's government so connected to the will of its citizens. And it's your active participation that makes these processes come to life. These processes are not just political terms, they are the foundation of direct democracy in our state and a unique part of what makes Arizona's government so connected to the will of its citizens, including each one of you. 1. Definitions. What are initiatives and referendum? Let's begin with some definitions. An initiative is a process that allows everyday citizens, like you and me, to propose new laws or constitutional amendments if they gather enough support in a form of signatures. Their proposal goes on the ballot for a vote by the public. In other words, citizens create laws directly on the other hand. A referendum is a process that lets voters approve or reject laws that the state legislature has already passed. It's the people's way of saying, hold on, let's have a second opinion on this. Both of these processes bypass the traditional route of lawmaking and instead put the power of decision making directly in the hands of voters. How initiatives and referendums are created. Let's talk about it. How these processes work. Initiatives start when citizens see a need for change. Maybe there's a gap in the law. Perhaps they want to fix something the legislator hasn't addressed. The first step is drafting the proposed law or constitutional amendment. After that, the proposal is submitted to the Arizona Secretary of State for review and approval to begin collecting signatures. This part is key. Getting something on the ballot takes a lot of public support. For a constitutional amendment, petitioners need signatures equal to 15% of those who voted in the last governor's election. A statutory law requires 10%. Once enough valid signatures are collected and verified, the proposal appears on the ballot in the next general election. Referendums can happen in two ways. First, there's the legislative referendum, where lawmakers themselves choose to put a proposed law or constitutional change on the ballot. This often happens with controversial issues. They rather let the public decide. The second type is the popular referendum. This is where the public opposes a law already passed. Citizens must gather signatures equal to 5% of the last vote for governors within 90 days of the law's passage. If they succeed, the law is put on hold until voters decide its fate in the next election. In both cases, public participation through signatures and voting is at the core of the process. Comparing and contrasting the two, let's break this down a bit further. Initiatives and referendums are similar in that they give citizens a voice in shaping laws. Both require significant public support to qualify and be put on the ballot for a public vote, but they're used in very different ways. The initiative is proactive. It allows the people to initiate change when lawmakers won't. The referendum is reactive. It is a tool to stop or confirm a decision the legislator has already made. Think of initiatives as citizens creating new roads for society to travel, while referendums are like traffic signals. They give us a chance to pause and decide if we really want to follow the path of legislator just laid out. Pros and cons of each process. Like anything in politics, there are advantages and disadvantages to these process initiatives. Pros. They empower citizens to shape laws, directly giving voice to issues that lawmakers may ignore. They help bypass political gridlocks in the legislature. They encourage civic engagement and grassroots organizations. The cons. Initiatives can be expensive, which allows wealthy individuals or special interest groups to dominate the process. Voters may not fully understand the details or consequences of complex laws. Campaigns can become emotionally charged and misleading. Referendums pros. They serve as a powerful check on legislative decisions, a way for the people to say, not so fast. They increase transparency and accountability in government. They can unify communities around important issues. The cons. They can slow down the legislative process, delaying laws that may be urgently needed. Signatures collection is difficult, especially for underfunded grassroots campaigns. Voters' decision can be based more on emotional appeals than informed debate. So, while both processes give power to the people, they also require careful consideration and responsible civic participation. Direct democracy in action. Arizona's Constitution. So, how do these processes fit into the bigger picture of democracy in Arizona? The Arizona Constitution, adopted in 1912, was heavily influenced by the progressive movement. Many believed that the government had grown too distant from the people at that time. That's why Arizona became one of the first states to adopt initiative and referendums as part of its constitution. These tools embody the principle of direct democracy, where the people don't just elect representatives, but also have the power to create and repeal laws themselves. This system keeps the government close to the people and ensures that public opinion plays a central role in shaping our laws. Initiatives and referendums reflect a belief that ordinary citizens can have extraordinary civic leadership when given the tools and opportunity to participate. In conclusion, the initiative and referendum processes are powerful expressions of democracy in Arizona. They allow citizens to go beyond voting for candidates and take direct action to shape the laws that govern their lives. Whether proposing new ideas through initiatives or challenging existing laws with referendums, the people of Arizona have a unique power and a profound responsibility to be active participants in our democracy. So, the next time you sign a petition or vote on a ballot proposition, remember, you're not just casting a vote, you're making history, you're helping write the laws of tomorrow. I am Carol French. Thank you.